Mr Mayor, I'm pleased you've expanded proposal 49 in the strategy to mitigate the effects of noise and vibration caused by the tube and other rail services. But the World Health Organization recommends a 40 decibel limit for noise. Why doesn't such a limit appear in the strategy as recommended in the Labour Group response?
Well, thank you for your question. I'm going to let Mike Brown, the Commissioner, deal with this point, but can I just make the point that it's valued the advocacy you've done for your residents in relation to this issue, the meeting you organised where these issues were raised, taken very seriously, because we've got to make sure that we aren't making Londoners' lives miserable as a consequence of the noise. And you have been an advocate for those who can't sleep at night, whose lives have been made really poor as a consequence. And so I take this very seriously, and the Commissioner does as well. So I want to respond directly to your point about the WHO guidelines, but also what we're seeking to do to ameliorate the concerns that you've raised.
So obviously we're aware of those guidelines and we're aware of the issues, and I would just reassure all Assembly members, including yourself, that every single issue that we continue to get, such as they are on night tube noises, we will continue to explore what we can do. This is a challenging science, as I know we've had conversations with you before, or my team has, around that often if you are able to mitigate noise in a particular part of the track form by some additional insulation or noise suppression processes, that then you find that there is because of the way that small narrow tube tunnels work, there can often be a resonant effect elsewhere on the line that then creates an additional problem elsewhere. So this is a continual process that we have to go through, but I'm very well aware of this. It is a real concern to me that residents, even one single resident, is being disturbed by noise from the tube network, and we continue to tackle those, and we're very mindful, as the Mayor said, of this World Health Organization.
I asked this because I've had many complaints from residents living near the Northern Line, as well as the Jubilee and Victoria lines, are suffering from unprecedented noise problems well above 40 dB. On the Northern Line, for example, I've been told this has been caused by a combination of automatic trains braking at exactly the same points, causing extra corrugation of the rails, leading to the noise and vibration, which is then transmitted because of the new rail's profile fixed to concrete sleepers with no damping in between, which transmits the noise worse, which was designed and installed under the previous mayor, who didn't seem to think about this. And the problem's compounded by the night tube, which prevents people being able to sleep at all. TfL's Northern Line engineering gangs, for example, can retrofit noise dampening pads at the rate of about 100 metres a week, unless they're called away for other emergency work, which is often the case. For example, at Mornington Crescent, they're 6 weeks behind now, the retrofitting programme. But as the work involves stretches in Camden up to 1 kilometre long, it can take many months, indeed years, at the present rate for these problems to be identified and then addressed. So will you look at employing additional engineering gangs to enable this remedial work to be done more promptly?
Well, I think, if I may, Mayor, just pick that one. I think what we will do is continue to prioritise those areas that are of particular concern. And I know you have been, on behalf of those you represent, very, quite rightly, vociferous in raising these points with us. And I'm more than happy to have a further review of the programme of work that we've got, and to assess whether we need to bring in some additional resource to tackle those particular hotspots. Well,
that's helpful, but prioritisation, I'll give you an example. We just had a meeting at Kentish Town. The complaint started in September last year. The retrofitting won't be completed, even if everything goes to plan, until after September this year. So those people, and obviously didn't complain straight away, waited over a year, will have waited over a year for something to be done. Yeah. And that's the problem. I mean, the Mayor's given a very clear commitment to try and deal with this effectively and promptly. But on the ground, because there aren't enough engineering crews, it's taking far, far too long.
Well, I'm happy to take that specific point away, of course, and have a fresh look at it. And the overall point is a well-made one, that we will continue to explore this, and we'll work with you, and we'll have some further conversations with you on the detail of those points raised, for sure.